Today we are going to make this Shamballa bracelet made with Preziosa Ornella beads and seed beads. We'll need wooden beads decorated with small seed beads as well as 2 0 rocaille beads. We'll also need either leather or wax string like Nymo or silamide. First, we start by cutting a 40 centimeter piece. There. And now a longer 160 centimeter piece. So we're going to count off 8 of these, halfway, and 3 more lengths of 20, 2 and 3, and that makes 160 centimeters. Now take the shorter 40 centimeter piece and tie a simple knot at the one end. And now we'll start adding the beads to this string. And we'll alternate rocaille, decorated bead, rocaille, decorated bead, until, just like in the PDF guide, we have used 5 decorated beads. There. Now, once you've added the last rocaille, make a knot at the end of the 40 centimeter string, like so. Now, cross the 2 knotted ends together, making sure you separate out the last rocaille beads. And now take the long 160 centimeter string and tie a knot around the bracelet like so. And now we're going to macrame around the 2 40 centimeter strings. And we're using a simple square knot, and we're going to make 3 pairs of knots in one direction. So that is 1 pair. We have our first square knot done, and here's the second. This is the first one of the second knot, and tighten it well. And here we have the second of the second pair. Now 1 more pair. And always remember to nicely tighten it. And the last pair of the third knot. There. And we have 3 pairs. Now separate out the short string with the rocaille on it, and we're going to continue macrameing with 7 pairs of knots on the non-rocaille string. So here's the first knot, or rather the first half of the first knot, and the second half, here we go, of the first knot. And we continue on, 1 more pair. And now we fast forwarded, and we should have 6 pairs. Let's count them off. 5, 6, yes, so we need 1 more pair. And now we're ready to incorporate the beads as soon as we finish this 7th knot. And move up the first decorated bead and macrame 1 pair of knots behind it. There you go. Now we'll move up the rocaille and another pair of knots, and so on until we have macrameed in every single one of the beads. So here we have the decorated one. Now we've got the last bead, and we're going to make 7 pairs of knots again around this string, just like we did on the other end. So here we start with the first pair of knots. And again, make sure you always nicely tighten each knot behind the beads and then when you're macrameing. And super quick, we're going to make another 6 knots. If you practice hard enough, one day you'll be able to do it just as fast. There, so we should have 7. Let's count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Good. Now we're going to adjust the bracelet so that the 2 loose ends with the rocailles on them are approximately the same length. In this case, we're going to tighten the bracelet a little bit. Now let's add in the string with the rocaille around it, and we're going to continue to macrame with that loose end as well. So macrame using the long string. Here we go, our first knot with both the strings. And we just keep macrameing, we keep doing the square knots until we don't have any more string left. And here we are, it's getting pretty short. Remember, this is our long string. So we'll make another couple knots. There. So that's about it. That's all we can do. So we're going to now take each of the strings separately and make a little knot at the end of it. And we're going to push the knot as close to the bracelet as we can. We're basically finishing it off. There you see just a simple knot. And push the knot all the way towards the bracelet, making it into small, tiny knot. It's almost invisible, which is exactly what you want. And tighten it really, really well. There you go. Now see, it's very tiny. And same thing on the other one. Make a loop, string it through. You have your knot. And that's it. Push it all the way. And tighten very, very well. There. Now both your strings are knotted. And if you've got good tight knots, we can just snip off the string. Clean it up. There we go. Now we're just going to try and make sure that the bracelet can easily adjust. Yep, it's working. And we put it on and tighten it. And if you're flexible, you can do it yourself. And we're done. There you go. Our new Shamballa bracelet.